This is Book Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Morore. And today we are going to be talking about hope. Yes, we have a guest with us. As always, we have guests come and tell us about their books, either books they've written or and published or just about to publish. And today we have Jodi, who is going to tell us about a book known as Hope Givers. Please, if you have a question, ask it. If you have a comment, submit it. We love feedback and we are going to appreciate it. And remember to share this video or audio, whatever it is that you're watching us or listening to us, with all your friends so that we have a more audience. We want people to keep reading, keep reading. And without one more minute being taken, because we have quite a lot to cover with our guest today, why don't you join me as we go to meet our guest, Jodi? Here we go. Hi, Jodi.
Hi, Anthony. What a great intro. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the show. We are glad to have you here.
I'm grateful to be here.
Yes, and we have so many people waiting. They are saying we can't wait to hear what you guys are going to say. That's coming from TikTok. And I know
Awesome.
from other areas also they are watching us or listening to us. So here we are, and we are going to talk about books. But before we do that, where is it that you are at right now?
I am in New Jersey. I am
Yes.
close to Princeton, New Jersey.
That's good. It's beautiful. And I only mentioned your first name. Your full names are Jodi O'Donnell Ames. I hope I got that right.
It's Jodi O'Donnell Ames.
Ames. Yeah, it's good.
No
It's
worries.
good yeah, it's good to hear it from you. Yeah. So what is it that you do, if you can brief us on that?
Do you have a couple hours?
Oh, ours?
What is it that I do? So I'm a mom and a grandmother. I am also a coach, a speaker, and an author, and a nonprofit founder. So I am a woman who wears many hats.
Okay. So I see why you asked us about ours, because we could go into any of those areas. It's not everyday thing that you hear grandmothers
Yeah, yeah.
who are proud of it, and because if you are a grandmother, you've seen it, done it, and been there a long time, so you have quite much to share with us.
Absolutely, absolutely. All of the things that I get to do, including being a grandmother and a mother, are my greatest joys.
Hmm.
I live a life of purpose every single day. I wake up excited about all the things that I do. So I feel very fortunate and blessed.
Beautiful. Now, we would like to know how you got into writing, because one of the things that we do here, talking about books, is going deeper into your writing history. Did you start come out writing? Because there are some people who wrote the first thing, the first day they took a pen, they wrote a sensible word.
Yeah,
At 2 years old, 2 years old.
yeah, I'm one of those people. From the time I was very little, I was what I call a writer or an observer.
Hmm.
I would jot things down. I just noticed things that most people didn't. So I began just writing probably in a diary, then created poems and wrote little books. It's interesting because my daughter did the same thing when she was little, made little books um, and created, put her thoughts and put my thoughts into a story. And I think that I know we all live a story, and the best thing that we can do is share our story. So
Mhm.
I, it's just something I really enjoy. I enjoy writing and reading as well.
That's good. And when was your first published work? Could it
Yeah,
have been a book, an article, or what was it? And that got you excited and said, "Oh, this is what I'm going to be continuing to do."
yeah. So my first, that's a great question. My first publication, I think, was maybe when I was 16 or 17. I had a, and I don't even remember where it was published, but it was a poem that I wrote. And then when I was in college, I remember writing a number of things that my professors just took the time to take me aside and say, you know, you really have talent.
Mm-hmm.
So that was inspiring because you never know. You know, writing is something so personal, and you never know how others will respond to your thoughts and your words and your ideas and your craft.
Mm. Sure. So, how many books so far, apart from the
So I
poem?
have two, yeah, I have two books published.
Okay.
One is called The Stars That Shine, and it's a children's book.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is called Someone I Love Has ALS. And it's a caregiver's guide, and they're both on Amazon, and they're both doing really well. And they support my nonprofit, Hope Love Company, that I created.
Mm. And now, since you mentioned your nonprofit two times now, can you please tell us more about what your nonprofit does?
Yeah, it's a great segue into my book, Hope Givers. So, when I was 29 years old, and my late husband was 30 years old, he was diagnosed with ALS, or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis,
Oh.
which is also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and it's a fatal illness.
Mm.
And you know, we had a 2.5-year-old at home, and our worlds were turned upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know, my husband Kevin was an amazing man, and his journey and his um, experience and his courage really helped to um, create and inspire all possible things in me.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, he brought out the best in me. You know, taking care of him and being his wife and seeing his courage really made me a better person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and then how long ago did he leave you? Or, I mean, did he pass away?
Yeah, he passed away in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
and he was 36 years old. So it's been some time ago. Um, and, you know, I'm at a place now that I can actually talk about it without tearing up, because it's part of my journey, and I recognize that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's also part of my book, Hope Givers. It's part of that whole experience.
Okay. Yeah, tell us about more of that, about the book, Hope Give Us. Yeah, I know it's going to be sharing more on the organizations and maybe much more than that.
Well, I'm I guess I would say that Hope Givers is kind of a combination of maybe three things, two or three things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about my journey as, it's a memoir, and it's a self help memoir. And part of it is about my journey trying to find my way as a young adult. I wanted to go to college, and my mother was a hostess, a restaurant hostess, and my father was a paver, and no one in my family had gone to college or knew anything about that. Education wasn't paramount in my home growing up, and we didn't have the means. So I had to figure out how to create this world, this life that I had envisioned for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of Hope Givers is about the people who helped me find my way. Part of it is also about the essence of hope in a life while facing a terminal illness.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is about my podcast. So I had a podcast called Gratitude to Latitude: Stories of Resilience and Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was COVID hit, right? We were all stuck at home, and I was so used to being a social person, and I love connecting with people. So I created a podcast, and I interviewed some of um, my mentors, and wanted to kind of get the nitty gritty on how they stay positive and excited about life and inspired. And so some of those conversations are actually in my book, Hope Giver. So it's a combination of hopeful things.
Yeah, and it's good. I like the three part of it, talking about those people that we associate with, those people that give us the hope to keep on living. They encourage us along the way. Whom could they have been in your case, and as you are growing up? That part.
Yeah. Well, I had two women who took me under their wing. One was a teacher and my student council president,
Mm-hmm.
uh, high school. She saw potential in me. She wanted me to be student council president. She got me very involved. And, I didn't have the means to do extracurricular activities, but she really encouraged me to find a way. And the other is a woman who is currently 96 years old. It was actually my high school boyfriend's mother, who had raised 7 children and put them all through college.
Mm.
She also saw potential in me, and she told me I had to go to college, and helped me to find my first interview suit, how to fill out a FAFSA, all of those things. So it was paramount that I had those two women in my life to guide me.
Yeah, always important. And it's a good lesson. And this is why people should read and get those points that you share in there. We're going to find out. It's always good when we look at people and we look at ourselves and we look back to the society and give back. If we look at the person that your mentor, she influenced, she saw the potential in you and encouraged you to keep on going. That's the thing that we should be doing to others as we see them, the young ones, our children, our friends, or our students if we are teachers, or the employees who are incoming in an organization and we are experienced. Encourage them, support them, and show them the way. So I believe
I
it's.
I agree completely, Anthony, and that's why the book is called Hope Givers. And one of
Mhm.
the things I mention in the book is I recognize how those people have showed up for me, and now I'm showing up for others.
Mm.
Whether it's my granddaughter or my daughter-in-law or um, my colleague or a child that I help through Hope Loves Company, it is my obligation to pay it forward and to show up for others the way those have showed up for me.
Yeah, that's very good. And is a thing to be given hope, to be encouraged, to be told, keep on moving. Yes, you can, and everything's gonna be all right. Keep on fighting. And then we come to a point in life which you came to that point, and sorry for losing your husband. And we face challenges, we face losses, we face obstacles that prevent us from moving towards our destination or living life fully. And I believe I'm guessing that that's the part that you share in the second section of your book. And what's your experience and what would you say about it?
You know, I think that we as humans have this idea that life should be and will be perfect.
Hmm.
And that is that's our image of what we should expect. And that's not true. Life
Mm.
is very challenging, and we should actually relish all of the blessings that happen in between the challenges, because there are so many challenges that will take place in our lifetime. If we're fortunate enough to live a long life, then we will be facing challenges. And recognize and support understanding how you handle those challenges. And that's part of my role as a coach, by the way. I'm a coach as well.
Mm,
And finding the tools to handle those challenges, finding the people and the resources, because they are out there.
mm,
And also personalizing it. Whatever, something that works for you may not work for someone else, and vice versa.
mm,
So you need to understand how you handle challenges, how you can strengthen that process, what tools are available to you, and how to use those for your wellness.
mm. And how was that for you? What saw you through during the
It's a great question. So time, of course, is something that really helped me. Having people in my life who really listened and understood to the pain that I was feeling. When we're grieving, uh, not many people want to talk about grief. Not many people want to sit with us in grief.
Mm,
Grief is something that is similar to loss. People are not used to talking about grief or loss, and maybe it's an area where they don't really want to go to unless they have to.
mm-hmm,
So finding the right people who were there to listen and support me and encourage me where I was in my life, without just saying get over it,
mm,
is really key. And there are those people. So understanding that grief is something that people don't want to talk about, and loss, they don't really want to talk about it. But there are people and there are resources out there that will support you in your journey and that will help you find a way to process what you're feeling.
mm. Yeah, I agree with you. Whoever searches finds. So if someone who's listening there watching is going through anything, then they can always look for those people who could help them along. And in this case, we have Coach Jodi with us. So you
Mhm.
can always connect with her and get help, get assistance. And in what specific ways could you be helping the person who's listening, if you can share with us? How do you go about coaching sessions or things like that? What are those things that they could be going through that you're very confident of handling? Specific things, some of them.
I think that for the most part, many of us are afraid to ask for help or to admit that we need help. But grief is very hard and challenges are hard. So, my first suggestion would be to seek help, to find someone who is empathetic and understanding and a great listener who wants to work with you to
Mm,
guide you from where you are to where you want to be. And it's also important to recognize that healing is a lifelong process. When
mm,
something tragic has happened to us, healing is ongoing. It's still like a roller coaster. My late husband, Kevin, those anniversaries that take place, I don't even have to look at the calendar. I will get teary eyed days before, and then recognize, wow, this is the anniversary of our wedding or of his diagnosis.
mm-hmm,
So I think that just wanting to talk to someone and finding the right person that, as I mentioned, is a good listener, a good support system, is empathetic is key. And I value those things and I do provide those things.
that's good. So if I'm hearing your story. Didn't you ever remarry after you losing your husband? You
Did
stayed.
I?
You
I'm
did
sorry.
you did you remarry after losing your husband?
I did. My
Yeah.
current husband and I both lost our spouses to ALS. So my
Oh.
current husband lost his wife to ALS as well. We married, and our three combined children, he had two children and I had one, were our bridal party. and which is an amazing story. And we together created Hope Loves Company because we recognized that there were resources that we wished our children had after losing a parent to ALS. And, we wanted to create um, better resources. We wanted to create more resources. So we needed more resources for our young children who were grieving, and we created a nonprofit to do that.
Wow, that's beautiful. So whatever it is that happens, you don't stop there. You don't lose hope. You keep on moving. You take what's left and build what's to come.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely. It's a rebirth. It's a rebuilding and another chance.
Yeah. And how long have you been married, the two of you, right now?
Uh, oh gosh, I think 19 years.
19 years. That's
I
beautiful.
think so.
And
Don't quote me.
I won't quote you. And it's good that you share some common background so that both of you understand each other through whatever it is that you may be going through. It's
Yeah, when my husband gets teary-eyed because of a pivotal moment or an anniversary, I understand.
mm,
So we recognize that you never move on, you move forward with. You move forward with all of the beautiful memories and the love and
mm,
the experiences. You don't move on, you move with.
yeah, sure, sure. I agree to that. And then we go on to that other part that you mentioned about gratitude. I believe that gratitude is one of the best things that someone could have now, despite the challenges that we go through. And you mentioned this podcast that you are doing was really happening during one of the toughest times in the human history, in the recent human history, during the
Yes.
COVID. And you titled it COVID. I mean, sorry, you gratitude during COVID. So how was that? And stress that idea of gratitude, please.
Now, I think that if we start each day with gratitude, then it can only get better. If we count our blessings first,
Mm-hmm.
it can only get better. Um, I started gratitude with latitude, stories of resilience and hope, because I needed hope,
Mm-hmm.
and I think recognizing that this was a challenging time, um, for me to dig deep and find hopeful reasons to celebrate, and the people who do that, um, was encouraging, and then to share it with others helps to expand gratitude. And I think that's really important to progress, is A, recognizing all the blessings you already have, and then B, um, moving forward in with additional progress.
Mm. Always looking forward to progress, whatever it is. You can always go to the next position if you're grateful of what you already have. So,
Yes.
so that's good. Now, to those who may be joining us now, this is Book Talk. We are talking about a book known as Hope Givers by Jodi O. Donnell Ames. I got it right this time
Yes,
around.
you did.
Yeah, if you practice enough, you can always be good at it. Now, I have a question. This book that we are talking about, Hope Givers, is it published yet for the person who's listening to know, or is about to be published?
So it's fully done as a manuscript, and I'm currently seeking an agent and publisher. So I finished this book literally a week or so ago,
Mm,
and I saw your show and just was delighted to reach out to you.
yeah,
I um I am seeking an agent and publisher. I actually am planning on today submitting it, so that's where I am. I'm excited, extremely excited to get it published.
that's beautiful. Now, as we said before, if you search, you'll find. So if you're looking for a publisher, you find one.
Yes.
And also, sometimes we have people who are looking for books to publish. How can they reach you? That's a question I ask.
That's a great question. So my website, which has a lot about me, but I'm currently updating it, is joaspeakson.com. So
Okay,
joaspeakson.com. Um, I'm on LinkedIn as Jodi O'Donnell Ames, and I'm also very active on Instagram as Jodi O'Donnell Ames as well.
that's beautiful, beautiful. So whoever is watching and would like to catch up with the Jodi, you can always go to www.jos, okay, joa speaks on.com. Yeah,
Yes, like speaks on. I speak on grief. I speak on gratitude. Speaks on.
yeah, speaks on. That's good, beautiful. And we keep going. So, when do you anticipate that the book is going? Okay, despite not having a publisher right now, when do you anticipate there is going to be a book?
Well, I really hope for the fall. I hope
Okay.
for fall. We'll see.
Mhm.
Fingers crossed. I'm going to keep putting that out there.
Yeah, that's good time. Maybe you can always even do it before then. And we wish you all the best.
Thank
And
you, Anthony. I appreciate that.
yes, apart from publishers reaching you, we talked about, yes, you coaching. What other thing could a person reaching you be looking forward to?
Well,
What have you
I'm a
mentioned?
I'm a speaker. I've been able to speak at the United Nations and I have a TEDx. So I would love to share my story on your stage. So, yes, if anyone's interested in hiring me as a speaker or a coach, I'm very interested. So, thank you for that opportunity to share that information.
Wow, that's good. And now, since your book is complete, just waiting to be published, what else is in the works? What's as you're waiting for it to become a book? What else are you up to?
Well, I that's a great question. I am thinking about starting another book.
Mhm.
And that's kind of under the wraps right now, but that's something that I'm thinking of. And I also have a children's book in mind.
That's good. And because you mentioned your podcast in the past, did you stop it, or what? Are you planning of doing another one or what?
I did stop it for now.
Yeah.
I think it served its perfect purpose at the time,
Uh-huh.
and and I may go back to it, but right now it's kind of on hiatus.
Okay. Yeah. It's always good sometimes to step back and watch things and come out stronger the next time that you come out. So, yeah, hey, that time comes. And we thank you really much for coming to our show. And we are wishing you all the best in everything that you're doing.
Thank you, Anthony. I wish you the best as well. I'm grateful to be a guest on your wonderful show, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, we are honored to have you here. And just as a reminder to all those who are watching or listening, please rush on to www.joa speaks on. She speaks on. She speaks on many things and she keeps on speaking.
I will.
Yeah, yeah, just keep it up, keep going. Don't give up, keep the faith, and keep on trusting that things are going to be better tomorrow than they were yesterday.
Amen.
Before we go, we would like you to leave us with a few words which we should always remember. Which are they, Jody?
Oh, a few. Would you like a quote?
Oh, that would be good. We love quotes.
Okay. So one of my favorite quotes is anything is possible with a willing heart. And I believe that is John Haywood, but I'm not positive.
Everything is possible with a
With
willing.
a willing heart.
Wow, I believe that and I accept it. So
Yeah.
everything is possible. Yeah, that's about it. We appreciate you very much, Jody, for everything that you shared with us. We wish you all the best in the book and everything else that you're doing.
Thank
And
you,
to
Anthony.
all, yes, and to all who are watching or listening, we also thank you for taking your time and being here. Please remember to share this episode with all your friends. It's been a beautiful one. Thanks to Jodi.
Thank you.
Yes, this has been your host at Book Talk, Anthony Moirore, and together with our guest today, Jodi O'Donnell Ames, we're saying keep on reading and bye for now.